Today we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at a very happy Clarence Park, where the Saints have moved joint top of National League South with a 2-0 victory over Bath City in front of a crowd of 1,510. Bath came into the game in 7 games unbeaten, hadn't let a goal in the last 3. Strangely, had a change of manager 2 days before the game. But they started both halves very strongly, but we had a cutting edge and they didn't.
Yeah, I think, as you say, they did start the game. I mean, expected it really with a new manager coming in. They want to impress, and we just got caught out with one ball over the top quite early. And Dean's come out and made a really good save. But I felt after that we were more than comfortable after the sort of first 5 or 10 minutes, and I felt we controlled the game for long periods. And the lead up to the first goal just before half time was an outstanding. And I think we've had 14-15 passes there, and the link up between Zane and Charlie Walker and the pass to Reece, and he finished with a plume really, a nice little bend in the bottom corner, and it's just what we wanted just before half time. And then we expected the backlash at the start of the second half. They'd come out and they've had the volley just gone wide, but I felt we showed a lot of resolve today in how to defend properly, and we defended properly and we broke against them, and we could have quite easily won out 3 or 4 today.
Because that 11 at the start of the game probably wasn't 11 you'd have gone for, because David Noble cried off just before the start of the game, and Tom Bender presumably was not fully fit.
No, David obviously caught his ankle in training on Thursday, so he felt it was okay before the game, but unfortunately, he got another kick on it in the warm up. So, as you say, we had to make a late change from that side of it. And Tom's been ill since last Saturday. He's probably a long way to go into what's happened, but he's been quite poorly all week, so he ended up in hospital last Saturday night. So we've got to just try and see how he is over the next sort of 3 or 4 days. If we'd had to call on him today, he would have come on support 20-25 minutes, but it was silly to risk somebody who's been in hospital for 2 days last week in terms of a virus that he's picked up. So it was a bit of a blow, but as I say, I think as a back four they're outstanding today. I think the 2 centre halves had a great game between them, and it was a good team performance. But I felt, from the front to the back, we defended really well today. And Dean has had a lot of crosses coming in the box, just 1 or 2 shots from free kicks, and he's dealt with them very well.
His handling today was impeccable, because as you say, there were a lot of crosses going to different parts of the penalty area, and he had no trouble with any of them.
No, and he's been, as I've said before, sometimes you look back and I think we've conceded 14 goals in the league, and you have to question why, because we've just not defended correctly at certain times. But today we defended really well, and I think speaking to him again after last week against Bridport, before the game today and again at half time, is they're starting to take on information. We're trying to get across to them, and people are starting to learn. And I think you see it in the last couple of minutes when Zane Banton was trying to dribble out from the back and he gave the ball away and they ended up with a shot, and Harold, it hurt Harold to think that we're going to give a goal away with a minute to go, and it was good to see. I haven't got a problem with things like that. I think the centre halves need to have the protection, and it was good to see him telling Zane that he's got to react a little bit better than what he did.
You said what a great goal the first one was. The second one, defender went to back pass the ball, stumbled. It just shows if you put pressure on defenders, keep chasing them all the way, don't give it up as a certain back pass and it's all going to be okay, you can turn it into a goal.
Well, that's what Sean did, as I say. He took the opportunity. As I say, the defender defended really well to start with, and he's tried to keep the ball in play and then rolled it back. Sean's reacted well and put it across the face of the goal, and Charlie's reacted on the back post. But I think there was one just before that where Charlie's knocked another one just past the post, and then we've had 2 or 3. Sean got good crosses in, and I think Merce just on the back post could have done a little bit better if he'd have reacted a little bit quicker, but then he's had 1 or 2 chances after that from balls that were slipped through. So overall I was really pleased, and it's nice to come away with a win, and then we can plan and prepare for next week now.
Well, those final 20 minutes, 2-0 could have been actually a lot more emphatic than that. Yeah,
it could have been, but that's the story of our season, as we've said all along. We don't put teams to the sword. We don't punish teams in terms of where probably the last year at the start of the season with Fiopunis and with Julian Moraes, we put teams to the sword at 2-0 with 20 minutes to go. We ended up winning 3s, 4s and 5s last year, but we haven't sort of got the same personnel in terms of wanting to score as many goals as we can, but we've got players that are doing things slightly different off the ball, and we're creating chances. We're just not putting teams to bed by finishing the chances off.
Solomon Sandbury went into the game with his hand bandaged again, and came off the pitch with his head bandaged as well. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He's just got a little cut on the side of the eye, which was bleeding. I mean, the biggest thing for us is to stop the bleeding as quick as we can. So yeah, but he's fine. he'll do what he has to do and then continue from there. But you know, he's not going to be crying off and doing things from that side of it. You know, he wants to play every minute of every game, and I think again today you see some of the stuff he's done defensively was outstanding for us.
Too early to say what the state is of David Noble's injury?
Well, we'll have to just wait and see, because I say it was Thursday night and he felt it was okay today, but as soon as he took another knock on it and twisted it, he's obviously setting back. So we've got 8 days, 7 days now, so we'll just see where we are on Tuesday night when we come in for training. So, but hopefully it'll be one of them and just settle down over the next 3 or 4 days, and he'll be okay to train on Thursday night.
Of course, a blow for him, but Percy, Keange and Benny, another chance for him to shine.
Yeah, and you know, Percy, you know what he's like. He does some outstanding things and some really silly things, but that's Percy at the end of the day. You know, we accept what he is. He's a young lad learning the game. He's never played at this level before, but some of his enthusiasm, some of the things he does is exceptional. And then, you know, we're going to have to learn is that every now and then he might just give the ball away silly like he did late on. But, you know, as I say, he's 19 years of age. He's infectious in what he does in the change rooms. He's everyone's friend. Everyone loves him, and they want him about the place. And he's just great. Some of the music he plays is absolutely terrible, but we have to stand in there and listen to it. So, and I think you can hear it now. David's going off. It's probably the worst music I've ever heard in your life.
One new signing today came off the bench as substitute. Luke Joyce Duwaraka. No doubt I've said that wrong. What can you tell us about him, Ian?
Well, Luke has been with us about 5 or 6 weeks now, but we've been waiting for international clearance. He was last playing in Switzerland. He's came through the same rank as Solomon and Kingsley, so you know, it's just one of them that's been training with us. He's looked really good. He's very sharp, bright, but he's just not played much football. So again, you know, we're going to have to just be patient with the boy. But he just got, you know, he's got blistering pace, really quick. He's probably one of the quickest players we've got at the club. So we need to look at him over the next few weeks. But it's just a great addition to the squad, especially coming off the bench with sort of 5, 10, 15 minutes to go. That somebody with his pace can come and cause teams problems. So, as I say, we just waited all week. So we waited 4 weeks for international clearance. It eventually came through the early part of this week, and we managed to get him all signed and cleared for today.
Right, now we look forward to a game you mentioned earlier, FA Cup 4th qualifying round, home to Bournemouth next Saturday. It's a club I believe you know a little bit about.
Yeah, I do, and as I say, I went and watched the game on Tuesday and was very well looked after by the club, and the chairman looked after Liam and myself for going there, and I have to say the facilities and everything they got there are outstanding. So on the day they were very, very good. It's going to be a tough game, but it's a game that, you know, I'm going to enjoy. It's a game that I'm going to relish in terms of hoping to try and knock them out of the FA Cup. So, you know, that's going to start now. We start planning and preparing, but it's great to go into a game with no pressure on you. So, you know, when you look back at Cambridge City and Bridport, there was loads and loads of pressure on us. They were the underdogs. You know, we had everything to lose, and you know, next week we're going to be the underdogs. They're the team from the conference. You know, they're a team that's sitting 8th or 9th, and they're a very good side. So, you know, it'd be nice for us to go in there and be the underdogs, and no pressure on us. And whatever we do, you know, we'll look forward to Hunger for the week after.
We may well go there as underdogs. People will be looking at us though, joint top of our division. If they're going to look for an upset, there might be one game they look at.
Well, we can only decide that after the game, David. As I said, you know, we've got to plan and prepare, and we will plan and prepare, because we won't leave no stone unturned from that side of it. But you know, we just got to see. The crowd today was outstanding. You know, we've got 1,500 quid in here, 1,500 people in here on a Saturday against Bath. I know it's non-league day, so you know, I have to take my hat off to every single person that turned up today. And I have to say they made a lot of noise today, so it'd be great to get a good crowd in next week. But as I said before, it's nice for the boys to go in as underdogs. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Bournemouth to come here and get a result, and their young manager Luke Carroll's going to feel the pressure. And it's important that we try and cause an upset and try and take as much pressure onto them as we can going into the lead up to the game, and obviously on the Saturday. And if we can cause a shock, hopefully it'll be us that can cause a shock. But it's going to be a tough game, as I say to you, and you know, on the day it's going to be the best team will win it. It might not be one on the day, it might have to go to a replay down there on the Tuesday night.
I remember going to Bournemouth in January '71, Amateur Cup second round. We were one of the favourites of the competition. We had a great side, Wood-Ruthenian League, very underdogs, and they did what we're hoping to do next week. That's the most painful defeat I've suffered in all my time of watching the club. Time we turntables in.
Well, as I said all along, you know, you go back to the Cambridge City game against us, we really shouldn't be in the cup at this stage of the season, because Cambridge City should have beaten us in the last 5 minutes. So they had 2 great chances and we had to rely on Dean. You know, we played Bridport last week, and again, though we've had a lot of chances and a lot of possession, you know, they could have nicked something in the last couple of minutes. So, as I said, upsets are there. We see what Lincoln did last year. So, you know, at the end of the day, we can approach it, as I've said, we'll approach it professionally, and then we'll have to see at the end of the day, you know, how good we can be on the day. if they turn up and they're all as good as what they are, and I watched them on Tuesday night and they were excellent, and it will be a tough game for us, but you know, they only need one or two not to turn up, they only need one or two just to not put in the performance that they put in on Tuesday night, then you get half a chance. And if every single one of my players turn up and they play to the maximum, then you've got a half a chance. But as I said, you know, earlier, it's going to be a tough game, and you know, I still say it, they're a good side, they're very well organised, they've got some really good players in there, and it's going to be a tough game. But upsets are there, upsets are for everyone, as we see with Lincoln last year, and I'm sure you're going to be a lot of upsets as we go into next weekend as well. And
next Saturday is a 12:30 kick-off, live on TV, I believe. Of course, players have got to shut that out of their mind. They've got to focus 100% on the game.
Yeah, and they should say we've just got to change things around slightly. And I just spoke to the players there about, you know, let's plan and prepare properly on Tuesday night, Thursday night, and then we're going to make sure we're in nice and early next Saturday, because it is different. It's not as if you get up on a Saturday morning and sit around and do nothing for a couple of hours. You know, we're going to have to get up quite early, get in here early, and get everyone prepared for a funny kick-off. But again, it's good from both clubs' point of view, is that, you know, you do get a bit of national coverage live on the TV, and it's good for the players. They deserve it, as I'm sure, you know, Boreham Wood and their players will deserve it. So it's good that we can actually put both teams out there live, you know, on BBC, and hopefully let the nation see what both teams can produce.
Apart from Kieran Monlouis, do you expect to have a full squad to choose from?
I'd like to think so. You know, I don't think we picked any more injuries up today. We're just going to make sure that Tom Bender recovers over the next sort of 3 or 4 days in terms of the virus he's had, and obviously David's ankle. So hopefully we'll have a full squad by next weekend.
Well, we're going to that game, as we say, second in the table. Club's going to be buoyant this week, and it's going to be buzzing. Looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm with you, David. As I say, we've got to plan and prepare, and we'll make sure that we plan and prepare properly, and we'll be here next Saturday at 12:25 for when we actually come out, and hopefully we do get a big crowd, and it'll be a good occasion for both teams.
Well, great crowd today. We wish you well for that one, Ian, and congratulations on today going second in the table. So it's next Saturday, we're Saints in action, the FA Cup 4th round qualifying, Saturday the 14th of October. Kick-off at Clarence Park is at 12:30. Make sure you get here early.